Hello, happy Christmas from Ballymaloe Cookery School. We're right down here on the south coast of Ireland, in the middle of a farm, very close to the sea. Ballycotton is over there and Knockadoon Head is over there, and we're right in the middle of our farming gardens, 100-acre organic farming gardens. And this afternoon we're going to do some delicious Christmas sweet treats. So big welcome to all of you. And this again, believe it or not, can be made a day or two ahead of time. Here we go. So it's a very rich sort of moussey type mixture. So for this, there are various types of Yule Log. Sometimes people make like a chocolate Swiss roll or something, which is like a spongy mixture, but this one is more like, almost like a chocolate souffle recipe. So basically you get 5 eggs here, and as good eggs as you possibly can get. And then we separate the eggs, put the yolks into the bowl, which we have here, gradually add in the caster sugar and whisk until the mixture is thick and pale yellow colour. So let me just, sorry, I was going to do this in front of you, but I just want to show you here. You can see the egg yolks in the bowl and with the sugar. So that's where we are at the moment. Again, you're using the whisk so that you get lots of air in here. So now I'm going to start this off, and then I'll send it out again. Now, oops-a-daisy, it's not plugged in, so that's the reason why nothing's happening.
There was no noise.
Yeah, no noise, yeah. So, lovely. It's so noisy here, so we're going to send that out next door. And then, so if I could have the, is there the other, shall I use this? So, right, okay. I prefer a tin that has like more sharp edges for this, if you have it. So it's like a Swiss roll tin or a jelly roll pan, depending on what part of the world you're in. Another really useful little tin to have, because you can roast a chicken on it or pop something into the oven on it. So basically something like either of these I kind of almost prefer, because they have, this one I think is ancient and it's fine, it would do. So basically, which of these sizes do I need, Pat?
This one is 12 by 8.
This one is 12 by 8. Okay, so you can make a thinner one as well. I'll use this here. Now we're going to line this with some parchment paper. So what we've done here is we've cut the paper into the corners like that, so that it'll fit in nice and neatly. So tuck it around like that. There we are. So that's ready to go, and again that's parchment paper. Now I also need some chocolate. So which chocolate have I got here? Pat, this 52%. Okay, and it's now if you're going to make something with chocolate, it might as well be delicious. And nowadays there's no excuse for us. There's so many different kinds of good chocolate. We use a lot of Valrhona. This one happens to be Callebaut. It's also really good. Lindt, Meunier, Suchard. A lot of them are widely available. And the one thing not to use is the well-known brand of cooking chocolate, which isn't really chocolate at all, really. And so you're not going to get something super delicious if you use that. So now, melting chocolate, it's really important to be really careful, because if you actually overheat it, basically you burn it. Nothing can be done about it. Even the hens don't like it very much. And basically there's no way of kind of rescuing it. So this is how we melt chocolate a lot of the time. We put the chocolate, these are little chocolate buttons there, and put this into the, where are we? Melt the chocolate with the water. So I need there are 3 tablespoons of water in there. Pat's put it in, and the little buttons. And look, there's very little water in the bottom of the saucepan. Just about an inch and a half water in the bottom of the saucepan. A nice thick bowl that will hang over the saucepan easily. Then bring the water up to the boil. Oh, sorry, it's off. Bring the water up to the boil, and the minute it comes to the boil, turn off the heat underneath it, and then just leave the bowl sitting there, and the heat, residual heat, will melt the chocolate perfectly. So basically, so that's ready there. Now, then for the filling for this, for a Yule Log, I usually, and this is your own choice, I usually make a lovely rum-flavoured whipped cream for this. So I'm going to, with softly whipped cream, and I'm just going to add some rum to taste. But look, you could leave the rum out if you want. You could put a little coffee into it. Or, do you know what you could do, although this is more of a summer thing? You could put some whipped cream and you could sprinkle some raspberries over it when you're rolling it up. And then you would have a lovely, it's not a Yule Log, but you would have a lovely, chocolate and raspberry roulade or roll. A roulade, or here we're making a Yule Log. Now, so may I have the cream? What's that?
This is your egg and sugar.
Gosh, that was quick. Now, okay, so we're just going to wait a little minute for that to, this is not quite stiff enough yet. I'm going to send it out for a minute again. So this is it whips up quite quickly, the sugar and the egg yolks. And you want to get a nice volume in it, and you want to make sure that all the sugar is dissolved at the bottom of the bowl. So lift up the thing, and it should make a figure of 8, which is pretty close to being there, but I want the more volume, yes, if I could. So we'll put that out. And then, so just when this comes up to the boil, I'll just turn off the heat. Oh yeah, it's boiling now. Turn off the heat, and that'll melt the chocolate in a minute or two. So, and then you also need to choose yourself a lovely big plate that you can do this on. And what I'll do probably is when I've made the Yule Log, I'll cut off a little bit of the end, we'll make a little branch. And then I also have lots of Santis and all sorts of things ready for that. Yes. So what would you like me to go ahead with now?
Make rum cream. I have some cream here.
Okay.
We have rum. So I think we're doing a pint and 300 ml.
So now the rum for this, by the way, is not the white rum or Bacardi rum. It's actually what we call sailor's rum, and often referred to as Jamaica rum. So this is the rum that's really good with chocolate and all of that. So for the filling, we want about 10 fluid ounces of double cream, a couple of tablespoons of rum, 1 to 2 tablespoons of rum, and then we'll have some icing sugar as well. So good. And next I'll go on to the chocolate Christmas tree then. Should I go on to the chocolate Christmas tree?
I have one of these made, if you want to go ahead.
No, I think it should be done in the right order. Okay. Yeah, I think so. Now, so I'm just going to put a little, take a tablespoon just to add some rum in. Thank you. Now, I suggest adding the rum in and then tasting and deciding whether you'd like lovely. I'm going to put a tiny drop more rum. I won't use the spoon because that's delicious. Now I don't want this to, I want to keep it nice and softly whipped. So let's keep that chilled. Okay. Yeah, by the way, you probably know not to leave whipped cream hanging around a warm kitchen because it actually will start to separate. So we'll put that into the fridge. Now, okay, so this is back to the Yule Log again. So this is whipped up in a saucepan over a vent. Melt the chocolate. Add the melted chocolate to the egg yolk mixture. Stir a little of the egg white into the mixture, and the egg whites we need to whip up until they're lovely and stiff. Now pop that to the side. Now you want to be just a little bit careful with this because this is actually comes straight off the heat here, and it's still very hot. So just want to be careful. I just wonder whether if I had a little bowl there, and I know I'm making more washing up, but I just want to cool this slightly because if it's too hot, obviously it's going to melt my mousse. So I'm just putting it in here for a second.
Yeah, no problem.
Only just to cool it ever so slightly. That'll be enough to do it. And then, there we go. So we'll fold this in. Now, that's right. Sometimes I put a little rum into the mousse as well, but I haven't in this one. So, good. Use another really important bit of kitchen kit. A spatula. So one long-handled one and one short-handled one to clean the bowl and to get every last little bit out. Easier to wash it off. But now, So we cut into the center like that and lift it. When you're folding it in, you want to keep as much air as possible. So hold the side of the bowl and turn the bowl anti-clockwise, cutting into the center and lifting it up and over. Look, it looks beautiful actually. Lovely and stripy. There we go. So that's it. The chocolate in. Now you want to work fast at this stage because the chocolate will deflate the egg white. So may I have a whisk please for this? If I could. There's one here perhaps. Now, these egg whites have been whipped up in a mixer, but now you can quite just as easily do them by hand. So now take, how many egg whites are in here?
5 egg whites from the egg.
Lovely. Okay, so now take a little bit of the egg white. It's really powdery, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, lovely. Now take a little bit. May I have the whisk please if I could? And just oftentimes it's kind of handy just to whisk in. We want to put a little bit of the egg white into the base just to lighten the base. And oftentimes what I might do with that is I might do it with the whisk. Just, and that, look, see the way that folds it in really nicely with the whisk to start off with. And then when the base is pretty much as light as the egg white, there we go. Then you can add the rest in, and what I could have done there is put a little bit of the sugar with the egg white as well. I'll put that to the side. Now, cut in again, lift it up and over. And all the time, as fast as you can, so that the oil in the chocolate doesn't deflate the base. Look, there we are. Now, good. Now, straight away, make sure your oven is fully preheated. What oven have you on for me, Pat?
180.
Yeah.
Conventional.
Good. Oops. Now, so pop it into the lined tin, let it flow out into the corners. Look, just lift it and let it flow into the corners like that. What's that? Oh yeah, let me have a look.
They're starting to go golden, but
Yeah, no, they're definitely not ready yet. Yes, we want them lovely golden brown. Okay, so this is it. Now, where do you want me to put this, Pat?
bottom left here, please.
Bottom left, and we're about
gonna give it-
halfway up the oven.
I'm going to give it 14 minutes.
Yeah.
It may take a little bit longer.
Yeah. So it's really important not to overcook this, because if you overcook it, basically you won't be able to roll it. You can serve it; it'll be delicious. But basically, it'll have lost its gooiness and it'll be really difficult to roll up. So it's important that it doesn't overcook. So we're going to actually do it a little. What's this one, Pat? Now?
It's a chocolate Christmas tree. But do you want to finish
Oh,
the
lovely.
roulade?
What?
Do you want to finish
Yes, I'll finish the roulade. Now, okay, bring. We have one that was made earlier, and now this, when it comes out of the oven, you'll see it will have risen up almost like a souffle, and then as it cools, it collapses down again. This one was made was it made yesterday or was it made today?
I made it this morning.
This morning, yeah, okay. So basically, and it's still sort of nice and soft. So now we need a nice plate, big plate to put this onto. And just want to make sure we have lots of holly and everything again for this, okay? Lovely. Good. Oh yeah, we could do another one or the other, but I think...
It might be nice on both actually, the white and the brown one. Nice.
Now, decisions. Look, I just need paper for this now anyway, and icing sugar.
Yep.
That's lovely. Now, lots and lots of icing sugar. And this is what, of course, you call in the US confectioner's sugar, and in some other countries it's called powdered sugar. So that's what we need for this. And now this is the sort of bit where you're holding your breath a little bit. So, whoops, take this and turn it out. Just flip it over like that. Lift off the tin and then carefully peel off the parchment paper. Now this can't be used again because I just washed my hands. One second, I'm all chocolate. Now, there we go. There we go. Now, right, so then take the softly whipped rum flavoured cream and spread it, not quite to the edge. And also, you can kind of run a little line along there so it'll be easy to fold in, I think. Now, I think I'll leave that. I don't have enough in that. Okay. Now, okay, so just, I made a little line there so that it'll kind of start me off. So just turn that over like this. Now, the great thing about a log is that, our Yule log, if it looks a little bit craggy or breaks a bit, well, that's okay too. So look, here we are. Fold it over like that. And now all that lovely, I need lots and lots of lovely holly and everything as well. So just tighten it in a little bit like that. And if you wanted, you could roll this a little bit ahead of time and then transfer it over. There we go. So lift it. So we lift it up like this and slide it off the paper. So far, so good. Give you that, Pat. Now, it's lovely like that. Looks exactly like a log. With a little bit of lichen over, but if you want, you could cut a sort of little piece like that and then lift it over here, so that looks for all the world like a little branch there. And if you wanted, you could move it. We'll move it there. That's good. Now, so I'll take a little bit more of the. Thanks very much. I just need a little of the cream. I had a little extra cream there. And we'll get these extra bits here. Super. And now we're going to put lots of Floria's lovely holly here. Oops-a-daisy. Holly is great because it does wonderful camouflaging and everything. So, pardon? I just wanted to put a little bit in around here. So that's good. Look. There's a lovely berried holly. There's still a few berries on the holly. The birds are just beginning to, as the weather gets a little bit frostier at night, the birds are beginning to take the last of the holly berries. So there we go. This is my favourite bit, Pat, putting on all of those. So now where I had another. Yeah, look. The other thing that are great, actually, if you haven't got berried holly, are little rose hips, and there's still lots of rose hips around. Or you could. And buy them. Oh, I see. You could also cheat and use little plastic ones either if you wanted to. Now, so I'm gonna. Here, I've got Santi skiing down this one here. That's perfect. That's Merry. What else have I got? Is that a little robin?
Santa again.
Well, I think we'll have a Santa party, basically. A little tree. There we go.
I'm going to keep this one.
What?
I might keep this. Do you want to keep this for the Christmas tree? Or do you want
oh, yeah, I could do. Yeah, absolutely. Merry Christmas, that's good. Now, I was going to put a little tiny bit more. Oh, maybe I'll forget about that because the handle went into the thing. Yay! Well, no, honestly, I think there's a time to stop, and it was maybe a few minutes ago. So now, take a little bit more icing sugar. There we go, a little shower of snow down on Santa. And so here we go. And this is super delicious. It's really rich. So you want to serve lots of again, softly whipped cream, but probably either with the rum or without it, with that as well. So there's our chocolate Yule Log. Everybody will love that. And as I said, you can make this all year round in the summer. Put lots of lovely juicy raspberries or loganberries into the centre.